We now have the strongest storm of the season, and it is for today, everyone. They even put out that high risk, and this is for chances for EF3, EF4 violent tornadoes. Multiple expected and long-lived tornadoes. So what I'm going to do is go through what you can expect on the timing of these storms, still bringing chances for very large hail, also a lot of damage and winds, and all the heavy snow that's still coming on this snowstorm for the upper Midwest, coming all the way from the Rockies. Now, as you go through for this morning, and they already had a very strong tornado through Oklahoma. So as we move through for early this morning, this is where you're going to get a lot of chances for snow on the upper Midwest. As you get these thunderstorms roaring through Wisconsin, through Michigan, you get it for Dakota and Minnesota as well. And you can see as you go through the morning, through the afternoon, it's really going to add up to a good bit of snow. But a lot of y'all are still going to get thunderstorms right past the snowfall, and it's just going to wash away. I think it's going to stick around and be the heaviest over here towards Minnesota. But as far as your thunderstorms and your severe weather, it's going to get pretty bad. Remember, this is your central time up here on top. So as we go through the morning, you can see these storms moving through northern Missouri, going through eastern Iowa, and it does go towards western Illinois by 9 o'clock this morning. As it leaves from eastern and northern Oklahoma, they already had a very strong tornado going through. As it comes through for early towards noontime, this is where it transitions from northwestern Arkansas, going through central and eastern Missouri. But this is where it really pivots towards our big threat as we start to get our daytime heating as we go towards noon and 1 o'clock. A big line of storms really forms up all the way from Michigan all the way towards northern Arkansas, and this is where you're going to have a good chance for a QLCS tornado as you go through for this afternoon. Still seeing the same shot that I posted yesterday on the community tab, but showing very strong cells all the way from 5 o'clock and on. Even 4 o'clock shows some very strong cells. You see hail cores all the way from southeastern Michigan, going all through Illinois, southern Illinois, very strong, all through southeastern Missouri and through Arkansas as this pulls up all the way towards 6 o'clock. Now look at the line of these storms, and you're seeing hail cores all through this line of storms, all the way to 6 o'clock, all the way to northern Indiana as this pushes off from Michigan. But now you have all night, all the way through the morning, everyone. Look over here towards 7 o'clock. Now it's moving a little bit further east towards Indianapolis, Indiana, moving down southern Illinois, western Tennessee, western Kentucky. This is where your event really strengthens up for tonight. But it goes all down through Little Rock and Arkansas and southern Arkansas as well. So as we go from 7 towards 8 o'clock, now the line is still moving through, and you can see all these little cells that's in this line of storms. Definitely will get a couple, if not a bunch, of QLCS tornadoes all in this line of storms as it just push it through all the way towards 7, towards 8. And look at the line of storms, and look at the hail cores coming all the way with them. All the way from western Tennessee, western Kentucky, moving through Arkansas. Very strong looking line of storms, plus the damage and winds that comes behind it, plus the flooding threat that you ultimately are going to get after it. So as you go from 8 to 9 o'clock, now it's moving over from Indianapolis, moving towards Ohio as well. Now you're getting in on it. Now it's moving more towards western Kentucky, towards central Kentucky, but it pivots towards western Tennessee, a little bit of northern Mississippi, through Arkansas. And this is where it's going to stay on this angle for quite some time. So as we go from 10 to 11 and keep going through, you can see these thunderstorms moving through Ohio, Kentucky, western Tennessee, still pivoting towards Arkansas, northern Mississippi. But now it's moving through for 1 o'clock in the morning, and you still have threats moving through. You still have hail cores still coming through for southern Ohio. You had damage and winds all night long. Moving through central Kentucky now, still in western Tennessee and northern Mississippi. But this line of storms is strong all the way to the early AM. So when you back up and see the whole picture of what's going on and everyone that is involved. So if you look all the way from the south, all the way towards the Great Lakes, even towards the northeast, where you have your thunderstorms moving through for this afternoon, and it will bring you some snow, some freezing rain, but once again, you're going to get thunderstorms right behind it that's more likely going to wash all that away. The big event is going to be over here for the Ohio Valley as you get these thunderstorms moving through, getting all these hail cores all evening long. And this is bringing a lot of the damage of winds, the large hail. But look how it trains from Arkansas, western Tennessee, western Kentucky all night. Also moves through Indiana, moves through Ohio. Even strong cells in there as well. You can see the hail cores in them. But the strongest part, of course, is going to be over here for the moderate and the high section. But this is going to be a very powerful storm. You can see the Bowen feature still coming out in these thunderstorms all the way from Kentucky through Ohio. This way you have a big threat for very high winds coming through. You still have hail cores still all the way to 1 a.m. But you see how it pivots like that, getting ready for the next day, getting ready for Thursday, everyone. So it's still going to bring in that Thursday threat. But today is definitely going to be the strongest day, and I definitely think it is going to be the strongest one of the year. I think we're going to see a lot of bad tornadoes, unfortunately, but you see how it just pivots right through for Arkansas, Western Tennessee, Western Kentucky. Then for tomorrow, it's going to come right back again. Can't see super far with HRRR, but you see it's going over the same areas. So whatever damage or whatever problems y'all have for today, it will train again for tomorrow, and it's going to train again for Friday as well. Then it's going to move a little bit further southern for Saturday and Sunday. And you can see this here. So as we go through for tomorrow, you still have the marginal and you have the slight risk for those thunderstorms that's going to come through. As you go through for Friday, it's still going to be there. As you go through for Saturday, they did add enhanced risk for those winds aloft that I showed you yesterday. And they did add that Sunday as well. So it is going to be a big storm system. It is going to last all through the weekend, everybody. You can also see what chances for hail. It brings hail all morning long, coming in from Oklahoma, eastern Kansas, Missouri, northern Arkansas. It starts going through Illinois as you go through for this afternoon. Then when you get the line of storms all night, all the way into early morning hours, bringing a lot of hail. It eventually gets down towards northern Texas as you go by early in the morning. But from Arkansas, northern Mississippi, western Tennessee, western Kentucky, going through central, southern Indiana, large hail coming through with the storm system, and then it builds up for tomorrow, bringing a lot of damage and winds with these storms as well, everyone. So all the way from Texas all the way towards Michigan, we're talking about a lot of damage and winds. This is bringing the 50, the 60, now you get the 70 and the brown and all this. A lot of 50, 60, and 70 coming with it. Then when you look all the way from southern Minnesota, northern Iowa, going through Wisconsin to the UP, still going all the way into Canada with 50, 60, and 70 miles per hour wind gusts. All in these storms. So make sure you're aware of it. Make sure everything is out of your yard, everybody. This is coming all the way towards central Tennessee, central Kentucky, through the interior northeast. Then we'll get more information as we get closer. Still showing the winds aloft are very strong, getting all the way up towards 125 knot winds all the way till tomorrow morning. So over here for the Great Lakes and Midwest, going all the way from Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, Wisconsin, northern Indiana, Michigan, even northern Ohio as well, then out through New England. Be aware of these damage and winds pushing through. This is not going to be no little slight breeze. There's going to be some strong damage and winds coming through. Please be careful. But this is also what's intensifying these storms as well as we go from Thursday and Friday, and look as we go from Saturday. That's why they put the enhanced feature, because we still have the strong winds aloft as well. Still showing a major flood threat, showing all the way from 10 to 12 inches of heavy rainfall. They even put a high risk out for it. This is going to be a big flooding problem, everybody. So for today, you do have the marginals, the slight risk, and the moderate level risk for flash flooding. For tomorrow, this is where it's going to get worse from the training. Now you're getting the high risk in there as well for eastern Arkansas, western Tennessee, western Kentucky. Then while you have a chance to try and reload from this, here it comes another day as you go into Friday. Another slight risk and moderate risk for flash flooding. And as you go through Saturday, it's going to be there as well. We have multiple days of a bad flooding issue. I want to make sure you are warned. So let's go through the warnings and who's at what risk. So for your chances for tornadoes, you have the 2%, the 5%, you have the 10%. The significant severe is all within that yellow area, chances for EF2 plus tornadoes. Plus you have the 30% and you have the big 15% in the red. This is where you have chances for EF3, EF4 violent tornadoes, possibly long tracked. So here's your cities and states at risk for this tornado threat as you go through today all the way till tomorrow morning. Plus the wind threat. The wind threat is bringing chances for 74, 75 miles per hour wind gusts and all this black section, plus the 30%, the 15%, and the 5%. Here's your cities and states at risk for the damage and winds for today, everybody. And your hail threat. Chances for 2-3 inches in diameter and all this black section. Plus you have the 30%, the 15%, and the 5%. So here's your cities and states at risk for the hail threat for today. Please prepare for this. National Weather Service has a tornado outbreak is expected today and tonight from parts of the mid-Mississippi and lower Ohio valleys westward into the eastern Ozarks. Numerous tornadoes along with multiple long-track EF3 plus tornadoes appear likely. In addition to tornadoes, severe wind gusts and large hail will be possible across a broad area from North Texas northeastward to the southern Great Lakes. The most intense tornadic supercells will be capable of producing long-track EF3 plus tornadoes. Multiple EF3 plus tornadoes are expected in the mid-Mississippi Valley. The duration of the tornado threat should persist from afternoon into the evening. A potential for supercells and tornadoes will extend northward into the lower Ohio Valley and southwestward into the southern Ozarks. In those two locations, the more intense discrete supercells could produce strong tornadoes. Then as you go in for Thursday morning through Thursday, you have another tornado threat. You have the 2% and you have the 5%. So here's your cities and states at risk for the tornadoes as you go into tomorrow. Then you have your wind threat for tomorrow and your hail threat as well. Even significant severe is still there. Chances for 2 inches or greater in diameter of hail. So here's your cities and states at risk for the hail threat as you go into tomorrow for Thursday. And for your wind threat, here's your cities and states at risk for the damage of winds that comes through for tomorrow. Then as we carry into Friday, remember this is going to be a set pattern. We have a stalled front. The big high pressures is going to bring all this precipitation into these storms, everyone. Here's your cities and states at risk for the severe weather for Friday. And then again on Saturday, remember those strong winds aloft come right back on Saturday. You have your 15% and you have your enhanced feature, your 30%. Here's your cities and states at risk for the severe weather for Saturday. And as we go through Sunday, it's going to weaken down, but you still have a threat. Like I said, it would be a smaller threat. But here's your cities and states at risk for severe weather for Sunday. And here we are right now. Here's the line of storms moving through from northern Texas through Oklahoma. We did get that tornado that was on the ground already, and it was doing damage. Now it's dropping all the hail. We have all the straight line damage and winds coming through as well. And the line is coming all the way through Wisconsin with the storms and the rain. This is where it's going to transition into the snow also. So this is what we have right now. I will update you this afternoon. We'll get a better look. I will go a little bit slower through the timing because this is all going to spark off once we get around 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I will see you early afternoon so you can see exactly what's going to happen through the night so you know what to expect. Thank you again for your time, everybody. Please, if you have a moment, hit that share button down below. Every time you share this, you are showing this to new people out there that have no idea. And we got to make sure out of everyone that's here on YouTube, let's make sure everyone is going to be okay through this event. This is going to be a very strong event. It's going to be the strongest, I do believe, of the year so far. But remember, we are just going into April and we're seeing a May setup. So all the way through April, all the way through May, we have more strong storms coming. I believe we're only seeing the beginning of our season by looking at these type of storms. We're going to a very severe pattern, everyone. Thank you for your time once again. Thank you for your shares to everyone that cares. I appreciate you very much. Please alert your neighbors. I cannot stress this enough to let your neighbors know what is going on, everyone. This is going to be a very bad system. Before I go, a word from our Father, a little prayer from protection, 1-5, Psalm 91. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God. In Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day. Amen. Trust in God. He's always in control. God is in control of everything, everyone. Just give praise to Him. Pray to Him. He will keep you safe. I pray that y'all listen and heed the warnings. I've been screaming for over a week now about the storm system. This is going to be the worst one of the year, everybody. And we have more coming. So we could have even stronger coming around the corner. But when you see a high risk and you see the chances for the long track EF3, EF4 violent tornadoes, definitely the strongest storm that you don't want to see come across your way, everybody. God bless every single one of you. Keep you safe. I will see you this afternoon for a zoomed in, slowed down update so you can see hour by hour, city by city, the best way I can alert you to what is happening. I appreciate every single one of you and for your help. And remember, all glory goes to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I always hope He keeps you safe every single day of your life and forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Take this storm serious, everyone, please.